Hello everyone, I'm Wendell Jones and welcome to this edition of our program, The Platform. On this program we look at the national issues and we wish a happy new year to all of our viewers and listeners and advertisers around the Bahamas. And our weekend program is especially pleasing to a whole lot of our viewers because we have Bianca Nygard, who comes almost every weekend with some special guests, and we talk about a variety of issues. And we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of her father, Peter Nygard, in the fashion industry. And for the entire year, he's doing a number of special events, not only in the Bahamas, in Canada, in the United States, in China, in Asia, around the world, because he is revered by a whole lot of people who like the Nygard fashion line and who particularly like the Nygard Slims. And so on our program today, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we are going to talk too about Bahamian culture. And our guest on the program today is Dario Tirelli, who is the president of Bahamas Carnival Band Owners Association. And he has a whole lot to say about Bahamian Junkanoo Carnival. Mr. Tirelli, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Nygard, for inviting me.
And Happy New Year to you, Bianca. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Happy New Year.
I hope you had a good Christmas.
Yes, it was really nice.
I saw your daughter at Junkanoo. What about you? You were there as well.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm always running around after her, filming. And
Yes.
yes.
So you have now Junkanoo in your blood, eh?
Yes, we do. Definitely. And now Junkanoo is over, and the next thing that my daughter's talking about, Carnival. Yes.
Okay, all right. You know, the memorable shot is Bianca being the queen on Bay Street when the Valley Boys brought out a special of the Queen's Jubilee, eh?
Yes. That was 2012.
Oh, yes.
2012. Mm-hmm. Very good. But let's talk a little bit about your father and his involvement in culture in the Bahamas, because he has supported quite a number of cultural events.
Right. Well, you know, my father actually, he just loves Bahamians and Bahamas, and all over the world, he always represents the Bahamas, and he wants to talk about Bahamas, and he's like, he wishes he was a Bahamian. He likes to call himself a Bahamian, and I remember, you know, he says that the very first person that he met on this island is King Eric, and now we were just remembering King Eric again, that it's pretty close to when he passed away now, you know, and so he's been in our thoughts and our prayers. And when I was little, I always remember being around King Eric and going to the King of Nights show, seeing the fire dancing and, you know, hearing the steel drums and just the excitement that I felt around that. That was incredible to me.
Yes.
And my dad, you know, along with King Eric, it comes so many of King Eric's friends, which like Chippy Chipman and Ronnie Butler and Peanuts Taylor and all of these wonderful people, you know, and that was like his group. Those were the people that my dad was hanging around with, and so then those were the people that I was hanging around with, and what better people to represent Bahamian culture than that.
Those were his peers, eh?
Yes, they are. And then from there, you know, that extends to their other hobbies, like how King Eric does the regatta and stuff. So you just start going into different, all kinds of different Bahamian things. And this is where my dad really fell in love with the Bahamas, and loves to bring people in to enjoy it, and loves to talk about it and brag about it and support it and everything. So yes, that's how he likes the culture.
Very good. And Mr. Tirelli, you've been involved now in Carnival for a little while?
Yes, when they first introduced it, 2014, of course, the first parade was 2015. And it's my whole life. You know, people used to know me from politics. Now I'm just a carnival guy. And everywhere I go, you know, people, especially after a television show, I saw after this, I'll be getting a call from all over the world. You'd be surprised how we strain things from all over the world. Social media is helping us promote the country through Carnival. That's all it is. It's just an industry, another industry that's full of entertainment, full of fashion, full of sound and everything Bahamian. You know, if I make a costume, I'm a Bahamian. So I'm infusing my culture. Culture is the way we eat, the way we talk, the way we sing, the way we dance, the way we argue, the way we prim. And so Carnival, Bahamian Carnival is unique to any other carnival. We're not trying to imitate nobody. We're just using the industry. Carnival is $1 billion industry in this region, year-round. Just bringing another aspect of new money into the country, heads in bed, tourism minister would say.
I'm surprised that we already have a Bahamas Carnival Band Owners Association.
From day one.
Is that right?
Yeah. And let me tell you how it started. When we first got together, most of the carnival band owners are junk canoers.
Yes.
And, persons like Dario and Bastian, one of my executives from his band, Enigma, then you get Raf and Anton Danes from Saxons, and then you get Doug and from Extreme, part of Valley Boys and Euphoria and all of them. I think I'm probably the least of the junk canoers. And I remember at the first meeting, we were being inundated with emails from around the world. And the second meeting, we had a discussion, and we was forming this association, and I became president by default. I think I was the only self-employed person, and I have a good personality for TV. And I think that's how I became president. And then my tenacity, I don't give up.
Right.
And outside the second meeting, we had a Trinidad Canadian with $1.2 million on the table just to jump in. And that gave us the fire that we could own a huge industry. And I went out and I told the guy, thank you for, thinking about the Bahamas as the next carnival destination, but I'll engage you for the marketing side of it, because he wanted to own half of the band for the 1.2 million. And let me tell you, when you need funding to put on the industry, that was very attractive, but it gave us the idea that this could evolve into $1 billion industry for the first.
When you say you wanted to own half of the band, what do you mean?
He wanted to take the 1.2 million, split it was 31 bands then. Equally, each person get their share, and he owns half of the bands.
And these are the bands that
It was just started, didn't even go on the road the first year. So this was the first part of 2015 before we went on the parade. But my involvement in Carnival started in 1997. I started taking Bahamians to Carnival, my injection in Carnival after I got involved in Carnival from a business aspect, looking at it.
You took Bahamians to
Trinidad, the whole package deal.
Yeah.
Toronto Carnival, Miami Carnival for years.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because we have this view in the Bahamas. There's a perception that Carnival is a Trinidadian thing, but Carnival is a festival.
It's a festival, a street
That's what
festival.
Carnival is.
That's
a
all it
street
is.
festival.
Street party.
And so you can have a carnival in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Barbados.
In Germany,
Yes.
There's 3 or 4 carnivals in Nigeria. There's a carnival now in Japan. We had a Japanese DJ came in the Bahamas last year. I hosted a Soca on the Seas. A Soca group of people came in, and she came on the parade this year. There's also, I was telling Bianca earlier, there's a carnival in Ibiza. There's Soca Fest they advertising in Ibiza, which is, of course, everybody know, the entertainment island of the world. Hopefully, the Bahamas government can understand there's money in offshore entertainment.
So we have to dispel this thing.
And that's what I do.
That carnival.
Yes,
It's
of
a
course.
Trinidadian
The first known carnival is
Yes.
in Nice, France. The biggest known carnival outside of this region is Venice, Italy. And they have a different form of carnival. And you have to probably be a millionaire to get there, to get a ticket. That's how people are wanting to get there.
Yeah.
And so at some point in time, we keep telling the Bahamians, if you don't build a relationship with the band owners, it'd be hard to get on the parade. Because you have to have a relationship when you see 15, 16, 17,000 people want to come in. And we're close to that.
Now, the former government placed the name Junkanoo Carnival there.
Yes.
Should we drop Junkanoo?
And from day one, I've been advocating. I'm on record.
That you should
advocating
drop
that.
Junkanoo.
Junkanoo. It's a totally different. We don't want to infuse Junkanoo with Carnival. Junkanoo is a totally different event. It's a street parade, the greatest street parade in the world. Carnival is a street festival, as you said. And the artisans, although the artisans of Carnival are also the artisans of Junkanoo, it's a totally different event.
What makes it different?
One is a pay-to-play, which is Carnival, and one is you've got to be part of the Junkanoo groups, like some samba clubs in Brazil. If you're not part of the samba club, you can't get on the parade. And they have a unique experience, just like Junkanoo. And so, of course, like I said, Junkanoos are the ones that make the costumes and do the design for Carnival, because they're the experts. And it is known and talked about in the region. We have the most organized of all Carnival parades, and all because of the Junkanoo expertise.
So taking the Junkanoo out of Carnival.
So we would mix up the world with Junkanoo and Carnival. People know Carnival as a brand.
Yes.
It sells itself. So we don't need Junkanoo. I think the politician, of course, being politician, didn't want to upset the masses. And I think that was a last minute...
it was to soften the blow, right?
Soften the blow.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people in their party didn't even know that was going to happen when they made that announcement.
Yes.
And from day one, as the president, I was advocating, we moved that.
And it was a psychological thing.
Of course.
Because there were some people who were saying, oh, you know, we don't need Carnival in the Bahamas, because they associated the Carnival with what they see in Trinidad.
Yes.
And so the then organizers, the government, I suppose, said, well, you know, let's call it Bahamian Junkanoo Carnival.
No, Carnival is a brand.
So that you get that Trinidadian thing out of your head, you know?
Yes. And we want the Bahamians to understand this is our form of Carnival.
Yes.
We have the best backdrop. And if we could pick the route I want and my barn owners want, we'll come from Balma Boulevard, past Goodman's Bay, go around Go Slow Bend, and imagine that beautiful scene to the world. That's marketing 101, eh? You give the best background as possible. The background in the back of me is your JCN. That's for marketing purpose. So imagine we have that only background. That's why we went up on the Awaki, on the eastern end. So we have a small shot of that background. We want that background coming straight around. And that's what we'll advocate, not this year, but next year. We don't want to upset the car too much this year. We just want to get it out there internationally. We've been doing an excellent job. You remember last year, you guys, you did a story on that, when there was a video went viral that I produced with one of my followers. He produced it and sent it to me. And, it was controversial carnival dressing. And within 4 hours, 96,000 people saw that video worldwide. That was a Sunday. Monday morning, by 10 a.m., I had 5 promoters, music promoters, out of New York, didn't know we had a carnival. And so our job as carnival barn owners are also ambassador for the Bahamas. We're not selling just carnival, we're selling the Bahamas. Because if I sell a costume package, that includes, in some instances, a hotel room. Maybe it's Airbnb or in some big resort. We're selling transportation. We are selling food. We are, persons. We are trying to allocate resources for them to come in. When they do come, they come in 2 or 3 days earlier to go to some promoter's event, not our event. And so we are selling the country. Listen, this is the newest industry in this country. The newest industry.
One of the controversial points of Carnival was the extent to which the government is involved, the amount of money that the government spent on promoting Carnival. I believe that there's a change now, since there's a change of government. I've been reading things in the newspapers. The new Minister of Culture is making the point that the government is not going to be funding a carnival. What is your view on that?
Let me take my time with this so people can understand an industry that's so big. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur by spirit. To launch a bear product, my past experience is making bears. To launch a bear product is not a cheap adventure. It takes a lot of money. So to introduce something so big to the Bahamas, only a government could fund that. And they do it all over the world. A private person would have never put their money into something that they're not sure of. Of course, the government is very confident that it will happen because we're part of the whole region where Carnival is huge. And so they took a gamble, and the gamble was good. And so now, after 3 years, and listen, put on that stage, for me to put on an event, I'm putting on an event January the 19th, my band launch. For me to bring 500 persons there, I need at least $15,000. So imagine you trying to bring 60,000 people, do the multiplying effect. So it's not a cheap venture. Of course, for the last 2 years, the government gave the bands no money. That was pure us injecting our personal money, sponsors' money, and being creative, selling a product. And so, for the first 3 years, government put a lot of money into it. We could debate whether it was well spent or not. To me, it was. Because if we could give the casino money for marketing, if we could give the hotel money for marketing in millions of dollars internationally, why is it a problem to give a Bahamian or many Bahamians? By extension, we have 21 bands. By extension, there are plenty of persons tie into these bands. The last government, they bragged that there was 4% labor decrease. Could have been more. And realistic, it was more. But because the relationship wasn't there with the band owners and the board, the Festival Commission board, they didn't get all the exact information they need to get. And so when we met with the minister for the first time, that's the first thing I said. Marry the relationship between your board, the agency, because that's my taxpayers' money that I pay tax on, with the band owners. This is not no adversarial approach to an industry. This is us putting our sweat, labor, and personal income, our kids' money, our kids' college fund to grow an industry because we love this country. And me as an artisan, Carnival is just another expression of art for me.
You know, I had a conversation with Paul Major recently, and he gave me a document which showed the amount of money other countries put in the promotion of Carnival. Trinidad was, I think, something like
56 million this year.
$56 million.
Yeah, you get New Orleans still pump money, though they make over hundreds of millions in return.
Right.
I think they get 67 cents of every dollar they spend. No, for every 67 cents they spend, they get $1 back. Last year, Brazil did $1.3 billion income for their carnival. They're pumping money. It's an investment in your people. And so when your people out there selling the world, selling the culture, but selling their craft, we want to be entrepreneurs for the rest of our lives. We love this. The Junkanoo and thank your father for me. He's putting investment in our culture, just like you said that Mr. Naiga, and I love him. Every time you see him, he's all excited. He's hyped. The first time I met him, it was to a concert inside the hotel. Remember we used to have concerts in the hotel? And he was there walking around and smiling, and people knew who he was. And where we go around the world, he's a Bahamian. And so he wasn't born here, but culturally he's a Bahamian.
Yes. And
so that's what we do. Everybody in the world know who I am. They label me as Mr. Carnival for the country.
So you have to invest in your culture.
You have to invest. Nobody pays me. The association don't pay me. I don't seek no salary. The government don't pay me for this. This is a labor of love because I'm an entrepreneur. But there are a lot of people around me who need income. And if the amount of people that persons we're going to engage in the next couple of months, it's ridiculous.
Now that Junkanoo is over, what is it that we have on this island to do for tourists from January until May when Carnival is? What do we have? I just had some friends down, wondering, they really loved the Junkanoo and stuff like that. They were so involved, and they actually went to the Bahamas Film Festival, which was not greatly attended. I don't know why, but they saw a film on Chippy Chipman, and then I told them that I knew Chippy Chipman, and we got to actually go to his Christmas party, and they were so excited. They got to be in the shack, and they got to help make costumes, and then they went on the parade, and they had such a great appreciation for it, and they can't stop talking about it to everybody, and they're, what do we have after that experience that we can do where people will come in and get an experience like that? We have Carnival, we have the fetes that lead up to the Carnival, where a tourist or anybody could come in and participate and feel like they did something. You're going to this island for a vacation, you're going to let loose, you're going to have this experience where you could dance on the street and you could build a costume and you could just jump in and participate and you can drink and you can just let free, and then you go home and you're like, wow, I just had this amazing vacation,
Amazing experience.
An experience.
But
you can talk about, what else do we have though? Because that's what I wanted to say when I was talking about my dad bringing us to King Eric's show and the fire dancing. We don't even have that anymore.
Yes.
At that time, we had the cabaret show. My dad used to bring me there as a child. And you know, they were topless. They were in G-strings. They had the beautiful feathers. And I was a child. I didn't think anything of it at all. I just thought it was gorgeous. It was incredible. It was different than
the cabaret show at
anything.
Paradise
Cabaret show, yeah.
Yes, that was something, and that was packed, and that brought people, and people are like, let's go there, let's go to the Bahamas, let's see this. This is what they have. What are we saying? What do we have now? You know what do we have? We can't say that we're against something that isn't our culture, because that's all we're doing. We're having artists, Jamaicans coming and giving concerts at the same time that there's Junk Canoe going on. The day before Junk Canoe, the day after Junk Canoe, we have 2 concerts. How come this is allowed? Why would this be allowed? This is where people are supposed to be in Junk Canoe now, and now we're distracting them to put them into the concerts, but then we're going to say, we're not going to invest in this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you pick something or you pick something.
So while Junkanoo is going on, we have people attending the Jamaican reggae concerts.
The day before Junkanoo 1 was scheduled, the day after Junkanoo 1 scheduled. So not only are you taking this tourists away from it, you're taking your own Bahamians away from your own culture.
You know,
That's
that
amazing.
is crazy.
Yes, yes.
and the Junkanoo groups are evolving because of Carnival. Look how much, the Music Masters, one of the greatest experience came out of Carnival. I gotta say that. You know, Q-Pit was somebody I engaged and made a song for my band last year. And, you know, if the song go platinum, I continually will make money. And so what we're doing is our mandate to the bands, listen, tie in one of the artists. Let them make a song. Who Let the Dog Out is a Trinidadian song that Bahamian made money off. Think about it. I was there when that song was launched in Trinidad. I was there when that song was launched. And so we got a Bahamian that got the full benefit of a foreign song. So imagine now with extra money in the country that these young, because of Carnival, these guys now could, and we have increased the equipment in the country, first class equipment. The stages are better, the lighting is better, the sound is better, the generators are better. All these guys now, because of Carnival, because we sit with them and we let them know you have to prepare. You can't put a 3-gallon generator on the truck. I need you to put a 25-gallon. So these guys are investing. And so more money is coming in.
And that is why the road march the
Could
last
last
time
long.
was so long.
Yes.
And it was the biggest road march, eh?
Yeah, and that route was designed by us, so we can engage the people along the route. You know, and let me state this to the public now. Do not come out there and sell potato chips, cheese doodle, water and soda. You could sell sliced cold watermelon, sliced cold pineapple. You could sell, you understand?
Yeah,
that's an industry around the road march.
Right?
We got to take a break. We are on the program, the platform, and Dario Tirelli is here along with Bianca Nygard, and we're having fun. We'll come right back.